Hello Year 11, this is Miss Sears and this is your PowerPoint for Physics Paper 1 that you're going to be sitting on Wednesday morning. The content for Physics Paper 1 includes P1 energy, P2 electricity, P3 particulate model of matter and P4 atomic structure. The required practicals for Physics Paper 1 are specific heat capacity, resistance of a wire or resistors in series and parallel, IV characteristics of a bulb, resistor or diode, and the required practical covering density of regular and irregular shapes. You can find links to the videos for these on class charts. One of the most important things that you are going to be given in your physics exam is your physics equation sheet. This will be found on your desk as well as your physics paper. As this is your first physics paper, you will only be asked to use the front side and the first two equations on the reverse side of the physics equation sheet. On this PowerPoint slide, you can see that I have blacked out in blue the ones that will not be appearing on this paper. Please make sure that you choose an equation that contains all of the variables that you are asked to calculate or use to work out which equation is correct. Please make sure when laying out equations you use FIFA. We have done this in lessons, so you should be able to use it. F is for formula. Please make sure you write down your formula. I, insert. Insert the values into the correct parts of the equation. F, fix. This is where you need to either convert units or rearrange the equation. And then A, answer. Please write down your answer to the correct number of significant figures or decimal places that it states in the question. Sometimes the question will ask you to give your answer to a number of decimal places and significant figures stated in the question. As you can see in the examples below, there are a variety of different numbers of decimal places or significant figures as stated. Even if you happen to get the question wrong, if you write your answer to the stated number of either decimal places or significant figures, you will still get 1 mark. So please show your working and state your answer to the number of decimal places or significant figures stated in the question. Sometimes the question will ask you to convert units. The most common units conversions are shown below. For example, megajoules to joules, times by a million, or times 10 to the 6 if using standard form. Kilo, e.g. kilowatts to watts, times by 1,000 or 10 to the 3 if using standard form. Milli, e.g. milliamps to amps, divide by 1,000. Grams to kilograms, divide by 1,000. Graph skills are areas where you can easily pick up marks. Labelling your axes. Use the labels that are given in the top of the table that you are going to plot your data from, and just copy it word for word. Use crosses, not dots. Crosses you can see where you've drawn, dots could be too big and you will not get a mark. If it asks you to read off a graph, please draw scaffold lines and state the numbers on the graph. This will probably still get you a mark even if you complete no more of the question. Lines of best fit can be curved or straight in science. If it's curved, please freehand it with a single line using a pencil, and if it's straight, please use a ruler. Physics key ideas. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. This transfer process is not an instantaneous process. It is usually over a period of time. Current travels from positive to negative. In Physics Paper 1, electricity is likely to take up 50% of your paper. Substances expand, not particles. For example, when you heat a liquid, the substance expands because the vibrations of the liquid particles are taking up more space. Half-life is the time taken for activity to halve. Physics predictions. Obviously we don't know what's coming up in the paper, but based on the previous years, these are the predictions we've come up with. Required practicals. IV characteristics. density, specifically of an irregular shape. P1 energy, calculations of energy. Please make sure you use the equation sheet and make sure that you check what the other variables are for energy, because there are a lot of equations that include energy in the equation. P2 electricity. It's been a while since you've been asked about wiring a plug or the structure of the national grid and transformers. P3 particulate model of matter. Changes of state and specific latent heat. Again, it's been a long time since these have come up. And P4 atomic structure. Alpha, beta, gamma properties. For physics, it should come as no surprise that about 50% or higher of your paper will be calculations. So please make sure you bring your scientific calculators on Wednesday. There will be new scenarios that you have not seen before on this paper. However, if you see something unfamiliar, please don't panic. Take a breath, keep reading, and if you have to, reread the entire question and make sure you read every single part. The rest of the question should make it really clear what familiar areas of science it is they're actually asking you about. And as we've said in the previous 2 videos, please don't pull an all-nighter. Avoid caffeine the night before. Get in a quick workout before 7 p.m. All these will help you to sleep better before your exam. Take frequent breaks from your desk when you are revising. Make sure you're drinking enough water. And eat a power breakfast, even if it is when you just come into school.